All right, man. It's your brother, Chief Priest Alice Arbolo, aka the Gorilla Hebrew. We back with this episode 28 of the It's a Gorilla podcast, Urban Legend Edition, bringing back our brother. I know him as Rapaya, a strong soldier. Y'all know him as Knowledge Born of Law, host of Do the Knowledge Radio. We had a very, very powerful interview last time around. And the conversation only continues. Brothers of wealth of knowledge and information and wisdom. So, it's always good to have impactful guests back on, to talk more and go more in depth and, uh, uncover more ground, so to speak. So, uh, great pleasure to have this brother, great honor to have this brother back on um, the platform. Where would you like to start today?
I mean, we can go. First, let me say, Shalom Israel, Kum Yasharala, Rise Israel, Rise. That's your brother. Now it's going to lie. Okay, I rap. I love that name. I'll tell you, like I love it. Like I love it, and I love what it means. Like foot on the enemy's neck on every level. So, when Chief Priest, gave me that goal, I was like, man. And as things would play out, I mean, that's my life story. Many of y'all saw my or heard my audio, story over the two parts over here, just to add the visual, to really see the love and respect I got for Israel and how critical Israel is. So I'll leave it right there. So if you want to go that way, I can get into that.
Yeah. Because
So,
you always speak up on how critical Israel is, and how Israel is, I mean, it's crazy because I don't know if you've seen the show from last night. We did Situation Room last night. We had a few brothers and sisters on, from varying schools of thought, but they all collectively were like, um, and it's just when I engage with certain people who have this ideology, but then I begin to question them as to, well, what do you want for your people, right? And all the things that they want for their people are things that, as Israel can facilitate through, you know, um, the rules and regulations and the guidelines that we're following. We're following the guidelines to accomplish your goals. What you want to do, what certain people want to do, is they want to tear down and they want to just figure it out. It's like it ain't even no figuring out. We already have the blueprint has been here for a while. We just gotta do it. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. And then sometimes, people neglect that, or people are apprehensive for one reason or another. But if you could just expound upon, because you always spoke about how critical Israel is to the movement, to the awakening, to the upliftment of our people.
most definitely. If you think about the current situation that we find ourselves in, we find ourselves in a situation dealing with a grave, grave, grave identity crisis. And because you are in a state of identity crisis, because you exist in a state of amnesia, when you're in a state of amnesia, you could be the ruler of the universe and you would know it because you forgot who you are. You know, um, you've been hit in the head and buried in a shallow grave. So now the person that hit you in the head can now come to you and resurrect you from that state, and you'll be used for their service. So if you were telling Israel, because I just stick with Israel, if you're telling Israel to abandon ancestral culture, walk with you into an unmet, you're making a grave error and mistake. You're talking about a people that, indiscriminate to all of the atrocities that happened to Israel, Israel still remains. From hell, high water. You're talking about a people who have a language, who have an identity, who have a culture, who have a way of existence that precedes them. Play, the historical, archaeological game. Understand history 101. When you look at how dynasties come into existence, this is history 101. Dynasties existence, they reach a pinnacle, at the decline. This is still, this is history 101. Decline. The next upcoming civilization conquers the declining, civilization and destroys some of the previous civilization. So if you look at Israel, twice of times in history where it happened. Now where do you find yourself? Just looking at civilization 101, look at history 101 from that standpoint. And you look at those atrocities that happened ancestrally, and you look at us, we find ourselves in a situation in a time span going about 1619, where you have brothers and sisters that exist on the planet who don't know their mothers, their grandmothers, who don't know their grandfathers. In this time lifespan, sisters who don't know who their fathers are, don't know who their mothers are. You understand? So this is the worst type of amnesia. This is from the womb from which you descend from. This is the lineage that you descend from. And you have no recollection. No go to your captors and give them some spit and take you. Or you find it a more intimate and close situation to where my brother ain't, my little brother been in prison since 2000, 20 years. He met his father for the first time in prison. So I ain't talking from no lofty position. How many brothers, like in the house with no father? They find their father in prison while their father already in the. So when you look at these issues that confront Israel as a culture, as a nation of people, have already been written in, has been written with it too, because you can't have culture, force or creative forces does not honor ancestors, does not honor elders, does not honor peer group or future. These are all things that are mandated through this history book that folks like to play with. Even inheritance, you're commanded to leave an inheritance for your future generation, not a fucking inheritance. You have dietary laws. You have a reward and punishment system. You got the blessings and you got the curses. You got a lineage that'll show you through a life how these things are critical. So the message that I got for y'all is that you have the prescription for the ills and the afflict our people all over the planet. You know how to use the antidote properly. So whether we're talking about here in the Americas, flex with blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, or how throughout the globe. If you look at the mother continent and how Israel, not the Jewish, I don't want to get that confused. Now, Yasharal has again back from whence it came, from Northern Africa and several different of the continent. So understand that critical mass and what victory looks like for our people Israel is doing on Maccabees TV last night. Israel is doing the work that our organizations no longer they used to do. They used to be. They used to be working with the homeless. They used to be getting brothers and sisters off drugs. They used to be in the penitentiary. They used to be working with, sisters getting them to turn off of the stripper pole. Israel is still doing this work. Israel's raising men, husbands, fathers, sons, uncles, cousins. Israel's raising daughters, wives, aunts, and nieces through a rites of passage program that is specific to the conditions where we find ourselves in and raising us out of them conditions. So, on a critical scale, at every level of our existence, the things that we're looking for, the things that we have longed for, the things that if you're looking for brotherhood, if you're looking for sisterhood, if you're looking for an identity, if you're looking for rectitude of conduct, if you're looking for a system of morality, if you're looking for a culture, if you're looking for, you right here, you right here, you right here in the place where it's optimal for you to be, where in the spirit of something that is created in you, the purpose, motivation, and direction. So if you can take correction, if you can take admonishment, if you can take counseling, if you can take some hard truth, if you can take some of that damn smash mouth therapy that you long for, that you may reject there, you understand what's going on. I mean, you know, where you are. Hey, Chief, I called the conscious community last night. Nah, me having the pictorial, you know what I'm saying, image of why Cain was so afraid to go out there after he killed his brother. He killed his brother. He was scared to death to go to that place, called the land. You understand what I'm saying? So you come into this community, and this is exactly what you see. You got to bear. You got to come in here with a mark. You got to come in here with your wits at you. You come into a place where you thinking, there's sheep around, but Scripture said, "Behold, I send you out as sheep amidst the wolves." You understand what I'm saying? So you got to have your stuff together. And this is not the place that it once was. I grew up in this community. I've been in this community for 25 years. My mother, as I shared last night, she got the Harry Tubman Recipient Award on my 10th birthday. So I'm not in this particular space by my own volition. I'm walking in an inheritance that was left by my mother and my father and their parents before them. So in regards to this community, I got generations in. It's generations in this community. And what I saw, you know, prepared me for what I would go into and where I am now. You see what I'm saying? So, critical mass, back to my point when I close, is Israel has those solutions and have gone through enough hell and scrutiny and trauma and drama to be able to address the needs of the multitude of maladies and afflictions that confront us as a people and be a deliverer. That's what
Yeah, very well put. Very well put. And it's crazy that some people, on one hand, it's crazy that some people can't bear witness. That's on one hand. The only reason, on the other hand, why it's not crazy is because we were foretold that it was going to happen, that some people were not going to be able to see clearly and bear witness. and a lot of it has to do with weakness. Um, the level of discipline that one must, subjugate himself to, like you was talking about, you're gonna have to deal with rebuke, a chastisement, admonishment. You're gonna have to deal with receiving counsel, and things of this nature. Some people have too much of an issue with pride to actually do these things, And I'm gonna tell you what's crazy, because you're a brother who have experience in the armed services. What boggles my mind is when we have brothers who come from that background and then they join the Israelite camp, and then they're having issues with authority within that organization. And every time, it never ceases. Anytime we have a brother who I know is in the armed forces and he's having an issue, the first thing I say is, you did not give the white man the type of problems you're giving him. You did. I know you weren't in. I know you didn't have them fatigues on, and you wasn't getting at the white man like that. I know it. I know. Yes, sir. No, sir. I know that's what you was doing. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy how sick our people is, to where you won't afford that same level of respect, and you won't subjugate yourself to your own people. Like, our people have a real hard time with subjugating themselves to their own people. It's like, well, we already subjugated to the white man, so it's nothing to be his subject, right? But then you halfway want to be subjugated to your people, but you don't really, because you're going to really start tripping once something you don't like happens, not realizing that sometimes you're not going to like something. Sometimes a decision is going to be made or a shot is going to be called, and you're not going to like it, but you're just going to have to go ahead with it. You see what I'm saying? I mean, it's just that simple. I remember I told brothers one time, I said, listen, I could be wrong, right? It wasn't on a doctrine or, but it was a decision on the move I felt like we should make. And I said, I could be wrong. And if I'm wrong, we're going to learn together. We're going to learn about this wrong as a collective, and we're going to grow from it. And if I'm right, I'm going to just say, I told you so. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes there's a segment of our people that have a real hard time with the idea of, taking orders and, essentially being, for lack of a better term, an Indian. You know what I'm saying? Not realizing that the best chief or the best leader he's mastered being an Indian first, right? Like, I had a job when I was 18. I had this job at Sonic, where they drive in, right? Boom. So the general manager that was there was a brother, and he was explaining what happened was he played minor league baseball, got injured, he couldn't play baseball no more. So he said what happened is he was brought in by the owners of the franchise and trained for 2 weeks on how to do every position in the restaurant. This is how you do the drinks. This is how you work the cash register. He was trained in everything, and that's what qualified him to be a general manager, because at that point, he was an expert in doing every single job there. So then he can tell you how to do this job, right? So if somebody's trying to be a leader, you had to go through the positions of being that Indian first, right? Now, now when I tell you to do something, I know, because I did it already. I know how to hold the sign. I held the sign. I know how to read. I read. You know what I'm saying? Just on the Hebrew Israelite level. We done did all this stuff. I done been worked the camp. We done been did all of it. So, so now when I tell you about it, I'm not telling you about something I don't know about. I know exactly what I'm talking about. So a lot of our people have a problem with order and structure sometimes. And then sometimes our people don't want to do the work to be worthy of being the one that is sending orders down, so that, but that's what Israel is all about. So when somebody comes into Israel, this is what they should be ready for, right? Some people stay away from Israel because they know that they're going to walk into that, but I ask, what nation can we ever see where that's not the pinnacle of the nation? Like a brother we had on yesterday, he basically said, we need to start from scratch, and we need to build upon principles. I said, okay, so you got to have rules, right? And he's like, no, we just need principles. I said, well, we don't need rules, we need principles, but rules come from principles. You know what I'm saying? I gave the example of, if in principle I'm to respect my father, if I disrespect my father, shouldn't rules and regulations come into play to where I get consequences for disrespecting that principle? See, our people are like, we don't want rules. Now, you need rules. Name me a kingdom of name me any man black man, Asian man, white man, whoever man. Name me a kingdom absent rules. Name me a successful society absent rules. It seems like our people want anarchy, you know? And anarchy is not good for any damn body. Why do you think that nobody really wants anarchy? It's not good for nobody. You know, you need structure, you need order, you need something that's going to facilitate strong individuals that can carry the torch into the latter generations of your kingdom, of your people, right? And like you're going into, we're equipped as Israelites with all of these building blocks, you know? And if some people, because sometimes they'll be like, oh, well, I like the way you said it, but I don't like the way they said it. Well, how about you? If you like the way somebody said it, come into this, understand it, and then you say it in a way that you think you would like to hear it. And then people who think like you, they'll listen to you. You see what I'm saying? But everybody just it's just crazy. Everybody wants it to be packaged a certain way. Everybody wants it their way, and they don't realize that there's a standard that we all got to submit to, or else we really not truly going to advance.
I think when you look at the psychology of our people, when you start, when you use a word like colonize, when you use a term like neo-colonialism, you don't really get it to unpack that and get into it. Like we always hear say we know what the white man has done. You have no idea. He recesses like the most evil thought that you could fathom in your own. It would get nowhere close to the depths. You understand what I'm saying? Like the depths that within that. You understand what I'm saying? So when you look at the psychology, it's 100% cold, 100% cold versus 100% hot. You understand what I'm saying? So when they start talking pressures and start talking about that, they don't get into to the. This is why you have what you would call hard science versus soft science. The hard science negating the natural occurrences environment. The soft science is a with the psychological and sociological ramification environment. So when you don't put those two together, you have a fractured view. And if you look at the psychology that this bastard has put in the head, I was in the military, I seen it work. It's invisible in the outside world. Stream in the military. If you cannot have your being total control model, one, you want organization. Not one, nowhere. Two, you will not have yourself in a position to where you can be reformed. You can't be coachable. You can't be teachable. Nobody's going to waste their time on you because you are a waste of time in that space in your mind if you're not coachable, if you're not teachable. Why would you show up anywhere saying and you're not prepared to ask in order to reach the result? So it ain't just be the new person that's coming along that everybody giving you. Everybody was the new person. Everybody was the new person. Nobody skipped a step. Nobody just came in off the bench like, yo, what up? Hey, hey, I'm General such and such. I'm Captain such and such. No, there's a rites of passage. You earn every step. You earn every stripe because you have to deal with that mentality of who you were before you came into where you came into. You know exactly how you were. You know where your mind frame was. You know what your mentality was. You know what age range, things like that. And it's almost like you telling people about how to raise children and you don't got no damn children. You might have an overview. You might have, a little insight, but you ain't see that baby come out. You ain't have to lose no sleep trying to figure out, what's going on. You ain't have to submit yourself to the baby's will. When the baby's sleeping, you sleeping. When the baby ain't sleeping, you up. And even if you taking a little nap, you still cognizant. Like, I need to. Was that just? Was that just? You understand what I'm saying? So you constantly in a different kind of mind frame because this baby will and your will, this baby's life and your life is intertwined. But you gonna go stand in front of some people and say, hey, check out this book. All you need for parenting and blah 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 is simple mathematics, simple science, and this is the psychology in the developmental stages and blah 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 with no experience. There's you can have information. Information is validated through that experience. You see what I'm saying? So when you look at that mind job, that psychology, our enemies have studied us. Our enemies have put us in environments and studied and documented us. You see what I'm saying? They do this around the world. It's not just where we are. This is how they are a superpower. This is how they have dominion over the planet. Because you can have the military might and lose the battle. And if you study historically, Somalia, if you study historically, Vietnam, they were not the military might nor the superpower, but the United States government is not in Vietnam and he's not in Somalia. You understand? So there's something else that is on the other end of the scale that balances it out. But you have to know the type of military mind that it takes in order for it to get done. So they know what type of military they have to have. They know what kind of mind frame they got to put into their soldiers, their sailors, their airmen, uh, and the Marines. They have to know that. They have to know what kind of mind works in their sheriff's department. They have to know what kind of mind works in their police department. They have to know what kind of mind frame works in their National Guard and Reserve. You have to create all of these minds from a psychological, military, operational standpoint in order to have somebody stand up and go. The main psychology for us is inferiority, and the military mind frame is subordination. So, subordination in a military construct, there can never be an instance where there's dissension, there's disloyalty, and there is insubordination. There's no success in it. You just said a society that doesn't exist without rules. That's military. You understand? That's military. That's military enacted through psychological mental warfare. You see what I'm saying? So when you're talking about um, a subset in psychology, when you talk about abuse, and when you talk about trauma, epigenetically through trauma, carried out through prolonged exposures to abuse. So if you're in an abusive relationship, if you know somebody in an abusive relationship, there's a cycle. They come to a point, you can talk to them, you done coach them, you done counsel them. You like, you leaving today? All right, let's go. We're gonna get you out this situation. You show up that day and they can't go. They can't go. You understand? Like you can't go. So if you look at that, you understand Pharaoh's relationship to Israel. You see that. You see that psychology. You see that and how hard it is to break. Moses couldn't have no bad days. You understand? Like if Moses said something was gonna happen, he better fucking deliver because they was ready to turn their ass around and go. And a moment's notice, Harriet had the same problem. You see what I'm saying? Nat had the same problem. So when we walking in the psychology, we understand the ancestral link that we have to liberation, and the cost is on the other side. The ancestral cost to liberation and the cost, what it actually takes and what it means on the other side. And that's a fight. And last time I heard, some dude named Jacob was fighting. He couldn't be Jacob no more. You understand? And this is, you know, where we come from. So if we looking at that, you when you want that new name, you want that new identity, you want that favor that you want to walk around with your chest out, that shit costs. It costs you. But the things that it costs you is not something to take away from you, but some things that have to be removed from your psychology that has been supplanted there. Because if you say this serpent was the most subtle God had made, you dealing with cat. You understand? Who gonna come at you from all of these angles. So this is how you look in this and you normalize it in a way where you have an understanding of what you're dealing with. And you know that everybody who gathered with you ain't with you. You look at Joshua and you look at that battle, but look at the ramifications and spots. It was like, yo, anybody who kneeling, you go to the river. Not you looking at you like, we already outnumbered, we already outgunned. Some of these cats are shook, but I'm gonna show you better than I can tell you. You're gonna see it in your men. You see what I'm saying? Take the city, this is what you do. So these instructions was laid out, battle plans dealing with the psychology of the unit. You didn't even get a chance to behold yet about that military might. You see what I'm saying? So again, this in regards to the psychology, if we understand the psychology of our enemy and the tricks, tactics, techniques, and procedures of our enemy and enemies, because we are these bastards that are running around, um, we know what kind of crop we need to build up and have them, wise to deception in regards. So this takes some breaking from someone that's already broken. This ain't for the faint of heart. This ain't for the the grandizers. This ain't for Instagram. This ain't for social media. You understand what I'm saying? That there is no glamour in it. It's a lot more shared heartache and hell in favor than it is within that pain and bloodshed. There's good brother get it or a sister get it. You see they light come on. Man, what you was saying, Chief, when you blah 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 blah. That's a little bit of solace, because I'm about to choke slam you. But I got a little bit of solace now that you understand what's going on. I can trust you around and see where to place you. You see what I'm saying? And if we're saying that this is something that, even what the brother was saying, we got to destroy everything in a nation. Everybody with you don't want one. Some of them connected to the old shit. So you got a bunch of people around you, and they ain't been through nothing, and they don't have no incentive to be loyal to what they in, because they ain't been through nothing. You see a cat, come through Hebrew way, he done been through something. You understand? At least on the surface level, you can trust them to do something. You understand? There's some other things that could be done to ensure. However, at least situation, they'll be ready. You understand what I'm saying? So when you looking at that psychology and equate it back to what I was saying about that military, you don't have your own mind no more. They don't release you out no place unless you have that group think you're gonna do what the fuck everybody else is doing. And if you don't, you out of there. You see what I'm saying? If you don't, you out of there. So you're fighting an enemy that's not unified, but that's united. They understand you as the enemy. So whether they got a police uniform on, whether they got a firefighter's uniform on, whatever the case, if they wear a uniform, they know. So when you put on your uniform, you have to understand that you have enemies all around you, and you putting that uniform on makes you a bigger target than somebody who ain't got it on. Got it on. They ain't got fringes. They ain't out here holding posts they can't. They ain't out here holding signs. They ain't out here holding the camera. Because you ain't in the video, don't think that people ain't watching you. You understand? There's a commitment that's there that's larger than your eyes can see for what is being done. There's work that's being done all over the planet based off of what a few brothers who on the highways and byways, in the trenches in the cold, braving the elements and braving the disrespect for people that, they out here trying to live. So that's something, understanding, breaking away a hold on your mind and on your spirit and this is a place where you could come get that prescription. That medicine tastes nasty. Real medicine, it tastes nasty. Ain't no fucking sugar in it. You understand? We don't want no sugary motherfuckers running around. They can stay where the hell they at. So that medicine is necessary and it's hard to digest, but it's the medicine for your but you have to understand that healing process hurts before and to know commit yourself in a certain kind of way and to take a different look of yourself that only this will bring out.
Exactly. You're exactly right. So I know you had a busy day today. Let's talk about what you got going on your platform. Um, and who you had on today. Who you're getting ready to have on, etc.
Yeah, ever since this push towards the YouTube channel, Do Not's Radio on YouTube, it started with, like 1 or 2 episodes, and next thing you know, it's like three or four, uh, 3 or 4 interviews or something like that a day, and it's only been like a month, like 28 days, like 2,500 people have watched. For like the last 28 days, it went from shadow ban, not being able to go to live, and all this other stuff to ban. You know what I'm saying? So I was dealing with that, and just coming a chance to kind of renew. We got 1,120 shows on our blog talk, and you know those things run their course. So still simultaneously, based off the commitments, coming into 2020, it ain't the new year, spring, but coming into 2020, we know we had set some things up with some people and based off that we had, so we're keeping the blog talk, but it's more of a visual push, and we're bringing in, different people. Uh, some of the people are, like runbacks, Minister Ink, Dr. Inky is one, Red and Blue Pill. There are others. There are more people that are coming that you'll see that are new, other people that you'll see. You'll get a chance to actually see video on, the screen. So I did with some entrepreneurs and sisters out here, man. I'm saying really got to be paying attention to these sisters. So the same way that we wayward as a nation of people, our sisters got it to the max. You know what I'm saying? On the max. So, we really got to be looking and them with they got the resilience, and some of them they got the patience. They just have to have that foundation of discipline, the same kind of discipline that we need to be dutiful to the task that confronts us. They have to be the task that confronts them and their roles and responsibilities with mothering this new nation that everybody's seeking to build. So we have to have the patience and the discipline to be able to uh, go through the muck and the mire and the mind and speak to the essence of the heart and the spirit because they feel before you understand. So we got that vision and they work intuitively. So they're working off of their feelings. So you have to bring them two commonalities together to visionary versus just find a way to bring that together. If you look at Sarah and Hagar, she did because she felt for Abraham, father of many nations, barren wife. Look at Hagar. Hagar come with a child, Ishmael. You know, the significance of the choice is weighing on her. Another kind of way. So one come in the name of the power and say, "You about to be a child." A feeling to you tripping. You understand what I'm saying? This laughing type of situation, like, oh, you bugging. So comes into fruition another feeling. Who's going to get what in regards to inheriting this kingdom? Situation change again. So understand that these uh, mothers of the nation exist in a space where that intuitive feeling is something greatest and it's something when out of balance could lead to the demise. You turn into a fucking a pillar of salt. You understand what I'm saying? Based off of feeling, you know? So, we have to be on guard with due restraint on both sides because we so uh, stuck on the promised land, we ain't paying attention to what the fuck is in front of us. Caught up. You understand what I'm saying? So, these modalities of thinking they come together in, dealing with that, relationship. Some sisters on that were speaking about, their particular businesses and things like that. But the trauma that's associated with, some shared, it was like mind blowing. You know what I mean? It was like mind blowing. You know, something being missing. You know, they're optimal when they're optimal, but when there's something that's missing, you see it. You see what I'm saying? So, I think based off of those, systems that came on, that there's something missing, and we gotta kind of be. I'm saying, like, if you wrestle with the angel of the Lord, you understand what I'm saying? You can deal with this, responsibility, to be in regards to fathering this nation. If her job is to mother the nation, your job is to father this nation. You have to have a clear and concise look into what that is. Know that we wired differently and we operate differently, but those differences is what complement us. If you want your woman and you like a man, you don't want a woman, you want a man. You understand? So, so her to bring the best out of you and you bring the best out of her. And that's how that crooked rib becomes straight. You understand? So yeah. So we got some here in a few days, and we're gonna be dealing with, you know, some of this stuff that's out here. Well, not yeah, some of the stuff that's out here with this, community in regards that exists currently with the Nile Valley, some of this other stuff that's going on, the situations with Africa and the like. So those are some of the people that's coming up over. And if I could, Chief,
Go ahead.
get into this, merchandise I could get on, on what I'm saying. I can't fit none of this stuff. That's why I got to sell it. Otherwise, I have it on. We
Yeah,
got
I like
these Student House Radio t-shirts and hoodies. We got different designs. You can get them directly from me, or you can get them on www.dtkapparel.com. Get them from me, you'll get them in 2 days. You know what I'm saying? this hand to hand stuff go. I'll be at the post office. You get it in 2 days. Priority shipping. The t-shirts are $20. I have 2X and I have 1X currently right here, and I have 2X in the hoodies. Just show some of these other things. Going, you know. So I got some different colors and some different designs. I can't fit none of them. You know what I'm saying? That's how the Most High would have it, that I couldn't fit none of them. So I wouldn't be getting high off my own supply. You understand?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. All these are moving.
Right. Keep it moving. But yeah, I got them, and I got some hoodies as well, and different colors, different designs, white, black, red, blue, green. So just some of the ones I got on hand, but you can get them from the website, and also get them from me directly. I take a Cash App payment, cash tag Knowledge Born a Lot, and PayPal through the Knowledge Radio. Either way, I send it to you.
48 hours.
Yeah, wrap, done. I got that shipment in on MLK Day. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so they fresh. They brand new.
Yeah. They don't give a damn. They dropped that big ass box off in front of my door and said, "To hell with MLK Day."
Yeah, they didn't care about no time and a half.
Yeah, I was glad though. You know what I'm saying? I was glad. That's, and, it's still a little surreal, because I've been trying to do this whole merchandise thing for some years now. You know what I mean? Like, it was always something that it kind of be like, all right, now take a step back. No, not yet. All right, no, it's not right. And if it ain't right for me, I don't want it out there nowhere. You see what I'm saying? Because we in the wolf community. You understand what I'm saying? We out here, next thing you know, they be like, "See, I knew GORRILLA wasn't shit. He out here scamming. I ordered some shit last night. It was supposed to be here, in the morning. It ain't here in the morning." You know what I'm saying? Nigga, the money. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, because of the character and the the character and the characters that are running around. It makes it a harder sell sometimes. So this is why I got to keep inventory on deck, like yourself, so that way people see it. Because I had the website up almost a year, and you get a lot of traffic. So when they see it, it incentivizes them to either buy or go see. They see some of the other stuff we got going on. But just in conjunction with the program that we got, like, the proceeds are for the community. And it really got nothing to do with me personally. It got something to do with the young G's that's out here, the community projects that we're involved in. Feeding the homeless, backpacks for back to school, sack lunches, like even over the so-called holiday seasons, we fed like 73 families, 75 families. You know, they got ravaged by this hurricane over here twice. So, food, clothes, all of that. And, during the winter break, we was doing the same thing. So, just Ghostface said in the summer, free lunch held us down like steel. So we know what it was like to go somewhere and get some free lunch. You understand? So in the summertime, we got the same program going on. So it just moves.
Yeah, that good old sack lunch, man. I
Those
used
are
to be
those sack lunch, man. I'm telling you.
at that people center, man, getting that sack lunch right, man, as a young.
Right, right, right. So if the neighborhoods ain't exist um, like that, shit, we've been SOL. You know what I mean? Like that kept us from breaking into somebody's house or some shit. You understand? Like, you know what I mean? Like that was the difference. So you got a chance to see that likeness that was going on. And if we understand church as an institution, churches feed people. You see what I'm saying? So they feed people, and at the same time they're feeding people. So it'd be hard pressed to be trying to get somebody away from a situation, whether they was there for them in a financial crisis type of situation, if they was homeless, if they was hungry. You understand what I'm saying? Or they was institutionalized, and whatever the case may be. So them social needs. Again, back to why Israel is so important. Israel is taking up that slack that black organizations used to do. This used to be the social reprogramming process. Cats coming home from prison. You see what I'm saying? Shit like that. Like, like coming back into society, and cats coming home from war. You see what I'm saying? Like we look at this stuff like and we be so detached from it. You see what I'm saying? Those maladies of, you know, being black in America, that has its own set of trauma by itself from generations of nobody checking. So, you might ask a brother or sister, you saying how you feeling, sis, how you feeling, brother, and they go crazy. They lose their damn mind because nobody ever checked on them in their life. Nobody ever asked them how they feeling without some kind of ulterior motive. So this is psychology you walking around with a man who don't know his father, who don't know his mother, who don't know his grandmother, who don't know his grandfather, and nobody ever cared for them. Nobody ever loved them. You understand what I'm saying? So they're walking around in that state like the serpent, up and down, to and fro, seeking whom they should devour. You see what I'm saying? And they bring all of that trauma and mess into a place where there should be safeguards as regards to how people come in. You find out someone's issues, their maladies, what's on them. You get them cleaned up before they have any kind of exposure into the community. You see what I'm saying? Like, so I could see why the cherubim was placed at the garden with the flaming swords that go in all directions. Like, you can't come back in now until you clean yourself up. You have to be under some kind of watch. I know people was watching The Godfather of Harlem, and they had those places where they was having people kicking the habit. My pops used to be in them places. My moms used to be in those places. You understand what I'm saying? Like working with our brothers and sisters. So it has to be some kind of treatment facility in regards to all of the maladies from every angle that our enemy has placed our people in to deprogram them. You know, the only Spike Lee movie I ever cared for, and that's only a little bit, was that movie Drop Squad. The rest of those movies were shit, including Malcolm X, including X, I should say, not Malcolm X.
Yeah, yeah.
Shit. You understand what I'm saying? So that reprogramming process and putting people out in the world, it was kind of like apropos of what needs to be done. It just was dramatized. We saw the result. There was a brother who was good, and the other brother, Fast Money, he was dead. You see what I'm saying? So you see what's waiting. You know, the wages of sin is death. You see what I'm saying? This is the way he was moving. He was moving that way. And this brother had a on the other end of the spectrum, he was worse than Fast Money for me. He was worse than Fast Money because he was working in a corporate structure that pushed this kind of ideas and ideals of misrepresentation, making us ripe for infiltration. That kind of shit led to a Fast Money. You see what I'm saying? So it's just like what's the damn movie? Uh, Jungle Fever. Look at Jungle Fever. I always say that the pop shot and killed the wrong brother. Once Wesley's character, his name was Flipper at that. Flipper, and he was out there flipping. You understand? He was out there flipping. He should have never been welcomed back. He should have been done. He should have been. That's who should have got the trigger. You understand what I'm saying? Versus Gator. This was Gator. You understand what I'm saying? Gator knew exactly who he was and what his afflictions was. He's like, I'm a crackhead. I like to be high. I got to get money from you. You don't want me out here busting up uh, old ladies upside their head for their change purse. What's up? He start doing what's up. You understand? So he knew what kind of situation he was in, and he knew what it would lead to. He did not look at death in the way that his other brother did. He had killed his entire family with that action that he made, that treacherous action that he made. You understand? Like she got her ass whooped and got to go back to her family, but she got to get that ass whooped before she went back into the family. You know what I'm saying? So she was welcomed back with open arms, and his family was destroyed forever. And I think even at the end, there was like a little situation where they show his daughter like strung out there selling the body for some drugs. You see what I'm saying? Like when you look at that, you see the uh, picture that they paint with that brush before they unleash it out on the world. You know what I mean? So that's just crazy. You know, that was crazy. And this is the community that we find ourselves, in. You know, I'll keep going back to, that situation about, you know, Israel got the prescription and the cure. You know.
Um, I want to get into as well. We talked about the other night some of your power theory, right?
Mm.
I know you ain't seen the leaks yet. You had opportunity been working, so just we gonna anybody who's watching, just never mind the leaks, because as 50 Cent's already confirmed, he's leaking alternate endings on purpose. So the
Mm.
leaks are not even the official ending, right? So I want to get into your compelling perspective on how you think it's all going to end and who did what. Um, it was great. I never thought of it this way. So, we talked about it the other night. So I definitely want you to hit the people with it.
I was looking at the series. What I saw last, I don't know if they like, because power is a roller coaster ride. You know what I'm saying? You don't know when you're gonna go up through a tunnel or whatever. You're gonna come out that tunnel and you're gonna go straight to this downfall and then a twist and the turn. And next thing you know, you upside down. So it's a roller coaster. You know what I'm saying? the sister that does the film and those writers, I believe that they, are brilliant in their approach. So I'm looking, and they had, for me, to me, they had fucked up and showed their hand a little bit. I don't know if they showed it too much or that was like dangling. You see this last episode that came out and the whole situation with Tommy and how it played out. For those who've seen that, so folks might have been banking on Tommy, but you saw this last episode how it had been. This is to fast forward to going in the house and talking to his mother, and his mother saying that she had got that check, what I'm saying, from Ghost. And you go back to the lawyer scene, the lawyer office, and I'm like, man, I'm like, all this other stuff is irrelevant to me. I'm like, Ghost did this shit to himself, and he set everything up. Saying you look at the whole situation with Tommy in the car that he shot up. You see what I'm saying? Everybody getting that money. Like you saw, what's her name, Paz. She was at her wits end. They told her, "Hey, you implicated your sister. You can't get none of her pension." She was like, "Whatever." She didn't know how she was going to pay for the whole situation with her son to get back to school. And she going to this lawyer office, come out with a check. You see what I'm saying? And Natasha, and that dialogue and that scene in the office and that whole situation with Tommy, I was like, man, Ghost, man, I'm telling you, Paz went to her. She said something that was critical. Paz went to Tasha and was like, Tasha said, you can't beat him. He always wins. You can't beat him. He always wins. So see, in this next one, the Shark Tape situation, those things with him and how these things play out to where I think they're going to show you how everybody's nullified. They're going to show you how everybody's nullified, not how everybody was a suspect. I believe that he set his whole, he set everything up because he is always, no matter what this shit, no matter what it looks like, he always found a way. I think in these last, with this last season, they kind of made him look like he was a little slow, like he just was some drunk motherfucker walking around like belligerent, attention, like shit was happening after. Like Tasha, why am I just finding out about this? Well, Tasha, when did this happen? Well, your fucking son, like all of these things to where it look he is disconnected from everything, and he bugging, and they make it look like he out of his mind. He's seeing dead people and all kinds of shit. You understand? So where the outsider will look like, yo, he's tripping, and you would forget that he's Ghost, and now he a real fucking goat. You understand what I'm saying? Like this is like the last kind of goat. He's literally a ghost now. You understand what I'm saying? And because he's gone, everybody is seeing. They can see, the forest for the trees, basically, and they can live now. You know what I'm saying? Like Paz don't have to walk around with that pain that she had in her heart, and she knows she could provide and take care of her family, take care of pops. You know what I'm saying? The son could go back to college. He ain't gonna resent his mother. You see what I'm saying? Like Dre, little ass, he got what he deserved, but before he got what he deserved, he got a chance to see that his daughter and his girl gonna be safe with his mother. You know what I mean? So you look at that situation. So now you see like Tommy, what I'm saying, leaving out of the joint, and his joint, and his baby that been with him through all of the seasons and shit, going out there to the West Coast. You know what I'm saying? And you hear regulate on there at the end after he popped my man in the eyeball. You understand? So the shit was like beautiful the way they kind of
And two,
setting the stage. Go ahead.
on on the Tommy thing too is not only all of that, but he was able to bury the hatchet with
Right.
Ghost's final breaths too. So he's able to leave and not have that negativity towards his man. You know what I'm saying? Even he figured it out. Damn, He wasn't against me this whole time. I need to go say it today. Wasn't able to say it today, but at least
Right.
they was able to get that moment.
He got the chance to say that shit to Tariq too. He got the chance to say that shit to Tariq, and with his mother kind of pushing him away, he had all of the motivation in the world to leave. There was nothing there. Remember, he said, "You right." You see what I'm saying? So, everything with his mother was always something that was kind of pulling him back. You see what I'm saying? Keisha uh, ain't there no more. Cash with his pops. You know what I mean? Like all of those things, like shit kind of is right. And he could go move, and there ain't gonna be shit out there in LA where a motherfucker's gonna be able to trick his ass. You see what I'm saying? Like there's no way that they could run a game on him. He got the game ran on him, and the game ran down to him by the best two. Kanan and fucking, Ghost. Like it don't get no realer than that. They gonna face the world together. You see what I'm saying? The Italian mob, the fucking Russians, the Serbian, whoever the fuck they was. You see what I'm saying? Like it was these cats against, and he learned the political game and he learned the police game. All of that shit, all in one. Education he could get, so he ready to wreak havoc out there. Coast and shit. You know what I'm saying? So whatever them spinoffs are, however they supposed to, you got to see, where that shit goes. You see what I'm saying? So um, we got the Black Widow and the prodigal son. You see what I'm saying? That's
That's what it boils down to. The Black Widow and Prodigal Son.
right. And what's that? Who would she be? Like like Martha or Mary Magdalene.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
still David's widow on the side. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's interesting to see, how these all this stuff is playing out. And, you know, like there's some upgrades that came from people who might have got their first shot out of the season. So Ghost really was like not just on the screen, you know. Everybody got work now. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got work now. They in the eyes you see little Rick on the basketball court in that movie, you know what I'm saying? Acting like
Yeah,
Ghost, taking care of his family with basketball. You see what I'm saying? Like, and the subject that he hated the most was like math. You see what I'm saying? So it's really, things coming back around, and you know, Nachi was like the only one that really had an end. She was in lottery tickets. She was in Notorious. You see what I'm saying? Like she had kind of already had a foot in the door, outside of Amari. Like the rest of them was kind of like finding their way in. So they found their way in, and they rose to power. You see what I'm saying? So everybody out there doing what they do, Rotimi out there, he doing what he doing and all that. So I could see them in a lot more stuff just based off of what they had over there. You know what I'm
that's
saying? And all the motherfuckers had to die. Like, oh, the last thing I wanted to say was like I saw like we was talking about. I saw like an ode to Oz in that shit when they had burnt that motherfucker up in the jail. Like I was like I ain't seen no shit like that since Oz. That was crazy. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, that was. Oh shit! Even with the glasses, old buddy got shot
in the
in
glass.
the eye. Yeah, that was like Mo Green from The Godfather and shit.
Nah, I ain't never see The Godfather.
You ain't never seen The Godfather ever, like
No,
none of
never.
them.
Not all the way through. I probably seen Pete's, but I never sat down to ever watch The Godfather.
So the dude, Al Pacino in the film, he's Michael Corleone. He's taking over
From
the crime family, and it
yeah,
shows how it got organized. He's at the christening of uh, Godson. And he's there. He's getting christened at the same time. While he's getting christened, they kill the heads of the five families. See what I'm saying? Cat get caught up in the elevator, boom. cat get caught in the in the whorehouse, he get bombed. You understand? Like, so the heads of the five families get taken out while this coronation is happening. You see what I'm saying? So this is this coronation. You see what I'm saying? Michael Corleone, do you reject Satan? And this motherfucker is Satan up that bitch. You understand? Like like these things are happening and everybody getting off. So when he walk out of the church, like they even had a cat in the cop suit bomb the cat so it looked like the cops. You know what I mean? Like all of this shit, this artful kind of mind is there to where this is that thing that you see. You see what I'm saying? So this part he's rolling up, Spank is shook. You know what I'm saying? He know it's him, and then he turn around, then buddy shoot him before he leave out. So they like the all of the stuff to me for power was like the what you call it, the consequence of not of leaving shit out, like not handling the business when you're supposed to. That's like the whole fucking series. You see
So
what I'm saying?
yeah, that's a
You
fact.
ain't take care of this shit came back. You ain't take care of this shit came back. You ain't take care of this shit came back. You see what I'm saying? It played out in a crazy ass way, but if you would have just closed that, because Tariq also still got to deal with Shorty who crossed. So that shit got to come
Fact.
in play some kind of way. You know, you seen what happens to the
Yeah,
Italian. So
like
the Italian is off the page. You know, like that's off the. You know, so, yeah.
like they
But,
never really went
oh
through.
shit! Remember, homie said, "How do you think I knew where you was?" Remember he said that. The Italian dude.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
He said, "How you think?" So Tariq shit got to be off the chain. Tariq
yeah,
had to be the last shit. Tariq has to. I think he got to be the last episode. I don't know. I ain't see the leak yet. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Well,
So,
I mean, because like you said, Tate episode is next,
yeah.
and then, and then who's left? You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
you know,
So I think
just
that got to be something interesting because he was like a crafty little like he's ghost son all the way. You know what I'm saying? Little sneaky ass little fucker. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, in the work, he like goes son in the worst ways too,
Yeah, he got all of the bad shit. You know what I'm saying?
for
That
sure.
shit caused his sister get killed. You know what I'm saying? Like all kind of shit. Like the worst kind of shit. You know? Yeah, that shit is wild. But yeah, I'm just excited to see how it turns and how it goes because it's been out there. It's been lingering for a minute. Like I didn't even mess with it. Like my homie was like, "Yo, check this shit out," and I was like, "Whatever." You know what I'm saying? And then I actually checked the joint out. So been kind of rocking with it, not since day one, but since I first seen it. You know what I'm saying? So the psychology and the level of the game, like the Wire had the same shit. It wasn't just the street. It started off in the street, then it went from the street to the fucking police, to the Senate, to the fucking, all that shit, to the school system,
Newspaper. They
right?
took
To
us.
the newspaper, right? And to bums on the street, and to crackheads. Everybody had the story. It wasn't nobody who was even dude getting clean and shit. You see what I'm saying? Like, all that like crazy, like. You know what I'm saying? The CI got a life. You know what I'm saying? The stick up kid got a life. You know what I'm saying? Like it was a bunch of shit. And that diehard motherfucker that's like Cooper Saxon, this fucking McNulty,
Yeah,
he
yeah.
wound up not being no fucking police and shit. Like that kind of shit to the bone, all the way to the end. The same kind of motherfucker. Like Bunk told the motherfucker, he said on the wire, he said, "There you go, giving a fuck. When it ain't your turn to give a fuck." You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, crazy. That was my little thoughts on this.
Yeah, yeah. That's heavy, man. We just gonna have to wait and see. 'Cause like I said, 50 saying, "Look, it's over. Like these leaks, I got y'all." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Whatever. We gonna see. But like you said, I'm anxious. I've been watching since episode one for real, for real. Like so I'm waiting. I literally since from episode one, I ain't miss a week. Like there was no time where I had to catch up. I watched every episode within hours of it. I mean, at most I may win a day, watch it like a day late, but I've really been on it. Like, especially I got the app, I watch it at midnight. You know what I mean? Midnight Saturday, I'm not even waiting. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
so I'm certainly anxious, man. But yeah, we got to do this again ASAP. You know, we could always build. You know what I'm saying, on whatever.
Right.
So I got to come back over there too. You getting the visuals over there, so I got to come back over there. That's nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Um, but yeah, man, all praise, man. It's been powerful, man. So our brother. You got anything you want to say in closing, King?
Rise Israel, man, and
That's it.
be dutiful to your responsibility. You know what I'm saying? Like you favored for a reason. You have to go through the trials and tribulations to see all of the intricacies of that reason. You know, you got a duty that's ahead of you. There's millions of people that are dependent on Israel to rise. So you got to get it together. You know what I'm saying? Be dutiful, and we've been long suffering for a long time. So be long suffering for your benefit. We've been long suffering for our destruction for far too long. So let's be long suffering for our benefit. So your officers, your captains, you know, your chain of command, your hierarchy, your structure, and, and govern yourself accordingly. Understand? So it was one little part. Like I hated that movie. What's that? The Nat Turner thing.
Brother of a Nation.
Or Birth of a Nation. Yeah. Yeah, I hated the movie. There was one part that took me back where uh, you know the depiction of our ancestors was out. It's like what time is it? Such and such. You know, what would we be doing if we was on a plantation right now? Like that call. Like this is what these experiences will be for us. It'll be distant memories. You know, if it's not through us, through our children or through our children's children, reaping the benefits of that work. You understand? So um, we understand what our ancestors did. We understand where people like Jonathan Jackson, like Huey Newton, George Jackson, Fred Hampton Sr. would come from. We come from these same people, these same divine men, these divine lineages. Luther King, we come from Jean-Jacques Dessalines, and they move towards liberation. So let's not have a repeat of us putting in work and our future generations going back into bondage on any level, whether it's a socio-economic, whether it's physical, whether it's emotional, whether it's spiritual, whatever the case may be. You got the keys to your handcuffs. You know what I'm saying? And don't squander your inheritance. Shout out to SICARRI. Shout out to uh, Chief and Strong Deacon and Cat Tazama. You understand? I done seen no brothers come a long, long way.
That's
And
a
shout out to my brother Hazard. What's it?
You said who?
Hazard?
Oh, you talking
Hassad?
Assad?
Hassad?
Assad, yeah, Assad, yeah.
Yeah, I love that brother, man. I
That's
love
right.
that brother, man. With a strong love, man. That cat is ferocious.
That's right.
You know, ferocious. That's a ferocious brother, man. You understand?
That's right.
I'm really glad to see the growth and how these situations along the way are bringing out the best in the brothers in the camp, in the families in the camp. So salute to everybody who is having children and taking wives. You know what I'm saying?
Damn right. Damn right. All praises, all praises. Well, y'all had it. Here y'all have it. Hope y'all enjoy. Stay tuned for next time. Make sure y'all go subscribe to the Do the Knowledge Radio YouTube.
Yeah,
Uh, you
please. I need everybody. If I can say that, yeah. Please go subscribe over there. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's love. It's love for Israel. Always has been. Always will be.
It's a fact. Yeah, yeah, go sub, man. And with that, we're going to give all praise again and say shalom.